Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ritesh, for thank you to all the devotees who led the chanting. We will start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatamidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminate Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshitarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा we sing our prayers from Bhaja Govinda from by Adi Shankaracharya. Anybody would like to try today? We are singing verses 11 to 20 this week. And next week we'll be concluding with the final set of 14 verses. Okay. Anybody would like to sing? All right, I'll go ahead and sing and then one of us can read the translations. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karane. मा कुरु धनजन यौवनगर्वं हरति निमेषात् कालः सर्वं मायामयमिदमखिलं हित्वा ब्रह्मापदं तं प्रविश विदित्वा दीनयामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायातः कालः क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः तदपि न मुञ्चत् याशावायुः द्वादशमञ्जरी काभिरशेषः कथितो वैयाकरणशेषः उपदेशो भूत् विद्यानिपूणैः श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवच्चरणैः का ते कान्ता धनगतचिन्ता वातुलकिं तव नास्ति नियन्ता त्रिजगति सज्जनसङ्गतिरैका भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौका जटिलो मुण्डी लुञ्चितकेशः काषायाम्बरबहुकृतवेषः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढः उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेषः अङ्गं गलितं फलितं मुण्डं दशनविहीनं जातं तुण्डं वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चत् याशापिण्डम् अग्रे वह्निः पृष्ठे भानुः रात्रौ चुबुकसमर्पितजानुः करतलभिक्षा स्तरुतलवासः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापाशः कुरुते गङ्गा सागरगमनं व्रतपरिपालनमथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीनः सर्वमतेन मुक्तिं न भजति जन्मशतेन सुरमन्दिरतरुमूलनिवासः शय्याभूतलमजिनं वासः सर्वपरिग्रह भोगत्यागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः योगरतो वा भोगरता वा भोगरता वा सङ्गरतो वा सङ्गविहीनः यस्य भ्रमणि रमते चित्तं नन्दत्येवा भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. भज गोविंदम स्तोत्रम की जय, श्रीपाद आदि शंकराचार्य की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Okay, anybody would like to take up the service of reading the translations of these verses 11 to 20?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, please, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Do not boast of wealth, friends, and youth. Each one of these are destroyed within a minute. Free yourself from the illusion of the world of Maya and attain the timeless truth. Daylight and darkness, dusk and dawn, winter and springtime come and go. Time plays and life ebbs away, but the storm of desire never leaves. This bouquet of 12 verses was imparted to a grammarian by the all-knowing Shankara, adored as the Bhagavad Pada. O madman, why this engrossment in thoughts of wealth? Is there no one to guide you? There is only one thing in 3 worlds that can save you from the ocean of samsara. Get into the boat of satsanga, knowledge of the truth quickly. There are many who go with matted locks, many who have clean shaven heads, many whose hair have been plucked out. Some are clothed in saffron, yet others in various colors, all just for a livelihood. Seeing truth revealed before them, still the foolish ones see it not. Strengthen Strength has left the old man's body. His head has become bald, his gums toothless, and leaning on crutches. Even then, the attachment is strong, and he clings firmly to fruitless hope. Behold, there lies the man who sits warming up his body with the fire in front and the sun at the back. At night, he curls up the body to keep out the cold. He eats his beggar's food from the bowl of his hand and sleeps beneath the tree. Still in his heart, he is a wretched puppet at the hands of the passion. One may go to Ganga, observe fasts, and give away riches and charity, yet, devoid of gnana, nothing can give mukti, even at the end of 100th births. Take your residence in a temple or below a tree. Wear the deerskin for the dress and sleep with Mother Earth as your bed. Give up all attachments and renounce all comforts. Blessed with such vairagya, could any fail could any fail to be content? One may take delight in yoga or bhoga, may have attachment or detachment, but only he whose mind steadily delights in Brahman enjoys bliss, no one else. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, again, this prayer reminds us that it's not about the externals. One may be just dressed in a saffron, right? Or one may also be a beggar, like Adi Shankaracharya is saying here. But ultimately, as long as we are puppets in the hands of our passions, our desires, then we will continue to move around in the cycle of birth and death, and will not be liberated. But those who have this jnana, this is devoid of jnana, but we have to get the jnana, and the jnana is the spiritual knowledge. So once we have that, then we can be able to get out of the cycle of endless birth and death. So that is what we are trying to do every morning, every day, by listening to Bhagavatam lectures by various acharyas, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, chanting together. All of these limbs of bhakti enrich our spiritual knowledge. And it is not sometimes externally obtained. Shravanam is the best way, but sometimes it is also, like we're also talking yesterday about sadhu sangha. Prabhupada is right now giving the experience of sadhu sangha to his disciples by taking him to his god brothers in Calcutta and in Navadvip. And we saw how they were celebrating the Vyas Puja of Sridhar Maharaj, and they visited Keshav Maharaj's ashram. So that was a nice experience for his disciples. And now Prabhupada is back in Calcutta, and he was remembering his beloved Sri Sri Radha Govinda deities that he used to. Those were the first deities that he got darshan of when he was a small infant. His servant used to take him and his cousin, and then his father used to, and he was walking, his father used to say,
Lost you there, Prabhuji. Can't hear you.
yeah, so Radha Govinda deities, of course, are the beloved deities of Srila Rupa Goswami, who's our Abhideya Acharya, who teaches us how to progress on the path of bhakti. So let's continue reading from here. Just 2 weeks ago. Anybody would like to read today?
I can read, Prabhuji. Oh, you go ahead, Mataji, please. Please go ahead.
No, I think it was an echo, Mataji. You can go ahead.
Oh, sorry. All right. Just 2 weeks ago, when Prabhupada had been staying at his sister's house, his health had prevented him from going to North Calcutta to see the deity, so he had gone to Navadipa without taking their blessings. But now, although still weak and although preoccupied with traveling to the US, he felt the deity was calling him. For the past 150 years, the Radha Govind temple had been maintained by aristocratic Maliks, a branch of the Prabhupada's own family. The Maliks had owned the entire block on Harrison Road, now Mahatma Gandhi Road, and rents from the block long building opposite the temple had financed the opulent worship of Radha Govinda. In those days, the deities had been worshipped on a gorgeous altar in the large Kirtana hall, and they had been dressed in silks and ornamented with and bejeweled crowns and necklaces. Gilded and bejeweled crowns and necklaces. All the pious Vaishnava families of the neighborhood would visit, and on Janmashtami, Krishna's birthday, even British gentlemen and ladies would come. But today, the Malik family possessed only remnants of the European art and furnishings that had once filled their homes and temple, relics from an age of former grandeur. And the worshipper Radha Govinda had pitifully deteriorated. Srila Prabhupada was pained to see the neglect. No longer were Radha and Govinda the center of Malik's lives. The deity worship still continued, conducted by paid brahmanas, but few people came to see. The main attraction now was a golden deity of the goddess Kali on the large altar in the Kirtana hall. Radha and Govinda, in the family for many generations, had been relegated to a small upstairs room in the Malik compound. Their dress was no longer elegant, their valuable crowns and ornaments had disappeared, and there were no large kirtana as before. Only a paid brahmana came in the morning to rub sandalwood pulp on their shining bodies, dress them carefully in whatever simple clothes remained, and place jasmine garlands around their necks while a widow or two watched the silent proceedings. Krishna consciousness was dying in India, dying from neglect. At least it was dying here in Calcutta. And in many other places in India, even in Vrindavan, the impersonal philosophy prevails, and the grand old temples had become residences for pigeons, monkeys, and dogs. Sad as it was, it only reinforced Prabhupada's conviction of the need to return to the fertile ground in the West. Although here in India the spirit of devotion was dying, in the West it was just beginning to grow. In New York, San Francisco, Montreal, Boston. If pure Krishna consciousness were dying in India, then why shouldn't it be transplanted in the fertile West? There it would flourish. It would spread worldwide and even back to India again. When India, bent on following the West, saw the materially advanced Americans taking to Krishna consciousness, she would reevaluate her own culture. Prabhupada saw Krishna conscious revolution beginning in the United States. He did not consider himself its creator. He was the servant of Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya's desire was that every Indian help to spread Krishna consciousness worldwide. Unfortunately, the very verses in the scriptures that prophesied a worldwide Krishna consciousness movement were a puzzle even to most of Srila Prabhupada's god brothers. They admitted it. But soon they would see there were great potential in the West. Prabhupada had shown many of his god brothers the newspaper articles. Swami's flock, chanting in Tompkins Square Park, ancient trance dance at Stanford University, and he had brought some disciples with him. These were only beginnings, much more had to be done. And who would help? BP Keshwa Swami, Keshwa Maharaj was dying. Sridhar Maharaj could not come, but who else? Most Indians were impersonalists, non devotional yogis, or demigod worshippers. As Srila Prabhupada stood before the Radha Govinda deity, explaining to Achyutananda and Ramanuja how he had worshipped them in his childhood and how they had been his first inspiration in Krishna consciousness, he understood deeply that he must take Krishna consciousness all over the world, even if single handedly. Of course, he was not alone. He had disciples, and they were opening new centers even in his absence. He would have to return to them very soon and supervise his growing movement. The Maliks regarded Prabhupada more as a relative than as a spiritual leader. To them, he was a hometown cousin who had done something successful in America. Narendranath Malik, a childhood friend of Prabhupada's, called Prabhupada Dada, brother, and regularly joked with him. The Maliks were glad to give Prabhupada and his two followers a large room in the temple compound for as long as they wanted to stay in Calcutta. Prabhupada set up his usual arrangement, a mat on the floor, a low table for a desk, and beside the desk his few possessions. Here he could study and write, receive guests, or rest. Daily, some local women brought Prabhupada and his disciples simple prasadam in a tiffin. The Kali Puja celebrations drew large crowds into the main hall before the Kali Deity, and Prabhupada gave regular lectures there from Srimad Bhagavatam. He also spoke in the homes of various Malik families. The host, members of the dwindling Bengali aristocracy, would offer Prabhupada and his disciples Radha Govind Prasadam, cut fruits, water chestnuts, minced ginger, and soaked salted moong beans. Most of those who came to visit Prabhupada in his room were not really interested in spiritual life, but they wanted his blessings. There was a local Brahmana whose occupation was to go from shop to shop carrying few flowers, a cup of water, and a brass container with sandalwood paste and kumkuma powder. Using this paraphernalia, he would offer a blessing to the shopkeepers every day and receive few paisa in payment. Knowing Prabhupada to be a Vaishnava, the Brahmana came to see him to receive spiritual benediction. The man's forehead was decorated with both Vaishnava tilak, two vertical lines, and Shaivite tilak, three horizontal lines. After the man left, Achyutananda asked, Swamiji, who was that? He's a hired Brahmana, Prabhupada said. When he goes to the Vaishnavas, he gives them blessings. And when he goes to Shaivites, he gets money. He has to make a living. Another man came, asserting that he wanted to teach Prabhupada's disciples Hindi. He asked Prabhupada to help him get to America, but Prabhupada told him, You must take sannyasa, then I will bring you to America. After two visits, the man stopped coming. A Malik relation, a small, bald, bright eyed man, came by one day carrying a book entitled Interesting Studies. He posed philosophical questions, simple queries about karma, jnana, and bhakti, but then would interrupt Prabhupada and answer them himself. Finally, when the man asked one of his questions, Prabhupada replied, So what is your answer? The man gave a general answer, but later, when Prabhupada began explaining that Lord Krishna, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the man interrupted, You may call God Krishna, call him Shiva, call him blank. No, Prabhupada said, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and all others are demigods. The man became a little nervous and quoted a popular Bengali impersonalist who taught that all gods and all methods of worship are the same. He's an upstart, Prabhupada said. That is not the teaching of the Gita. What is the other teaching? It is all utter confusion. If you go on speaking like this, the man said angrily, I will have to leave this place. Please don't criticize this Paramahimsa. Why not? Prabhupada said. He is a conqueror. The man got up and left, calling out, You don't know Krishna, as he left the room. Prabhupada turned to Achyutananda and Ramanuja and smiled. Every time you introduce Krishna, they say, Why only Krishna? But that is what Krishna says. Mata parat aram nanyat. There is no truth superior to me. These rascal impersonators have ruined Bengal. One day a man gave Prabhupada a 200 rupee donation, and Prabhupada immediately asked the pujari for an old set of Radha Govinda's clothes, gave the clothes to some of the temple ladies along with the 200 rupees, and asked that the ladies make gold embroidered dress for Radha Govinda. Radha Govinda are taking care of us, he said, so we can take care of them also. Ramanuja's beard was huge, looking like an ordinary hippie. He misrepresented Srila Prabhupada wherever they went. Prabhupada told Achyutananda, tell your friend to shave. Achyutananda and Ramanuja talked, but Ramanuja would not shave. Wanting Ramanuja to agree on his own, Prabhupada did not ask him again. But when a copy of the latest Back to Godhead magazine arrived from the States, Prabhupada got an idea. 2 illustrations in the magazine showed Haridasa Thakur converting a prostitute. After her conversion, the prostitute had shaved her head. Showing the pictures to Ramanuja, Prabhupada asked, what is the difference between this picture and that picture? I don't know, Swamiji, Ramanuja replied. No, Prabhupada said, pointing to the pictures. What is the difference in this picture? Oh, she is a devotee. Yes, Prabhupada said, but what else? Oh, she has a shaved head. Yes, Prabhupada smiled. A devotee has a shaved head. Do you want me to shave my head? Yes. Ramanuja shaved, but within few days he began growing his beard and hair back. From now on, Prabhupada told Achyutananda, no more cheap initiations. They have to know something. Ramanuja hung on. Prabhupada wanted Ramanuja and Achyutananda to remain in India after his departure and continue to try for the American house in Vrindavan. Ramanuja wrote his own impressions to his friend Mukunda in San Francisco. Should we continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we can continue.
All right. Please be advised that we are doing all we can to get him off as soon as possible, but this primitive Indian government is putting obstacles in our way. The man who could have given Swamiji clearance for his P form has just drowned, so the clearance has to be made in Bombay. This is the delay. Here in Calcutta, we are having lots of fun addressing different people. Swamiji makes Achyutananda and myself give a short speech. I am becoming more and more expert at this. I think that he makes us speak in order to show the audience that we American Vaishnavas are for real. And also, he wants everyone to preach Krishna consciousness. It is very difficult to take care properly of Swamiji's health here. For one thing, it is a big thing to serve sweets in India, and it is impolite to decline. Also, we get all kinds of visitors. We have not been able to go to bed before 11 o'clock, and Swamiji automatically wakes at 3. In this respect, the people here are very inconsiderate. But if Achyutananda and I ask them to leave, they will ask Swamiji if they should. And Swamiji, of course, says no. Anyways, his heartbeat is a little fast, and sometimes it is alarmingly fast. So I suggest that you get a good heart specialist to see him. Please arrange for this doctor, and above all, make sure that Swamiji gets plenty of rest. You need not restrict visitors too strictly because if the company is good, Swamiji seems to enjoy visitors. Please do all you can to get Swamiji's beat to normal again. His chariot needs to be fixed up so that he can remain on this earth for at least another 10 years. Knowing that Swamiji would soon be returning, the devotees in America began to increase their entreaties, each group asking him to come to their particular city. On November 4th, Prabhupada wrote Mukunda, as you say that my absence is being felt now surely more deeply than ever, so I also feel to start immediately without waiting. And to Mukunda's wife Janaki, he wrote, every minute I think of you, and as you asked me to go to San Francisco while returning from India, I'm trying to fulfill my promise. I'm thinking of going directly to San Francisco. At the bottom of the same letter to Mukunda and Janaki, Achyutananda added a health report. Swamiji is looking healthy and living and working regularly. But his pulse rate is generally too fast. Last night it was 95. Unusually fast even for him, as it generally hovers between 83 and 86. Prabhupada decided not to wait any longer on the chance that Mukunda might secure him permanent residency. I want to return to a country where there is good air and good water, he told Achyutananda one day. Every day we are receiving letters that devotees want me there. I thought that in my absence they might deteriorate, and I was reluctant to even come to India. But now I see that it is growing. There is a need for me to go and supervise the expansion, so I want to go back. The only impediment now seemed to be a delayed P form, a clearance from the Bank of India required for an Indian citizen traveling abroad. I am just ready for starting for America, but as you know, our competent government is very slow in action. The P form was submitted almost a month ago, but still it is undergoing red tapeism. The visa was granted to me within a half an hour. The passage money was deposited within 2 days, but unfortunately, the Reserve Bank of India is delaying the matter unnecessarily. I expect the P form at any moment, and as soon as I get it, I shall start for your country. Just to make certain the Swamiji would come first to San Francisco, Mukunda sent a telegram to Calcutta. Swamiji, Brahmananda, and I agree you start immediately. Advise exact arrival date, Mukunda. Prabhupada had planned his route through Tokyo, intending to stop for a day to probe if there is any possibility of starting a center. In Tokyo, he would let Mukunda know by telephone his arrival time in San Francisco. But 3 weeks passed while Prabhupada continued to wait for his P form. Meanwhile, he received good news from New York. The Macmillan Company's interest in Bhagavad Gita was real. The contract was being drawn. Pleased with Brahmananda, he wrote to him on November 11, explaining his visions for distributing Krishna conscious literature. If publications are there, we can work from one center only, like New York or San Francisco, for propagating our cult all over the world. Let us stick to the publication of the BTG more and more nicely publish some Vedic literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc.
We'll pause here, Mataji. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yes. Wonderful. Anything, any thoughts, reflections on today's reading?
Just the beautiful journey that I see here, that Prabhupada recognized that Krishna consciousness was having hard time in India, spreading hard time in India, and even in Bengal, Kali Puja was taking over, and the deities were put in a smaller room, and that kind of hurt Prabhupada because those were his childhood deities, and the one is inspired him. I was wondering where those deities are right now, and second, to see that the interest that was being taken in America, and he felt that it was a fertile ground. So the whole world is, they say is one big home or community, Vasudev Kutumbakam. I think that's what the mood is here, that okay, if it's not in this place, then it is this place. Wherever we see the chance, we should flourish, and we should try to spread Krishna consciousness one day at a time, one person at a time. I think that's the lesson I take from this one. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I don't know. Has anybody? I have not been to. I think I remember going to Calcutta when I was an infant or probably very, very small. So I have not been to Calcutta recently. Didn't know if those deities are there. But if anybody, I don't know, anybody else on the call has visited Calcutta, have seen those deities. I have not personally. But yes, I mean, it is also interesting to see, how connections, again, connecting the dots in Prabhupada's life, yeah, so those were the first deities. And like I said earlier, I mean, Shri Radha Govind, they are the Ishta Dev of our beloved Shri Rupa Goswami. And Prabhupada spent most of his time before coming to America in the Radha Damodar temple, where the Samadhi of Shri Rupa Goswami is there. And that's where he used to sit and pray to Rupa Goswami from the window kitchen that I think Adi Guru Prabhu had shared the picture long, long ago in our center. Those who have visited Vrindavan will remember that, and those who have not, you can see that picture where Prabhupada sits in the Radha Damodar temple in his kitchen and fervently plays praise to Rupa Goswami. So again, that's a lot of connections that way. And also, yes, like it is hard in India, like Prabhupada is saying here, right? People have this hodgepodge religiosity. Everybody is equal, they say, right? So sometimes even I was remembering sometimes, I think some of the teachers, music teachers would say, when somebody goes to learn something, they'll I think Prabhupada was sharing this probably in one of the readings. that sometimes when somebody goes to a teacher to learn something, the the person would say, yeah, it is this much charge, and then another person goes and he says, I know this, and then he'll say, actually, this is I'll charge you more. Then he comes out and he talks to his friend, hey, for you he charged only 100 rupees, for me he's charging 200 rupees, why is that so? And that teacher hears it and then he says, because you first have to unlearn what wrong things you have learned in life, right? So when somebody has to learn something new, it's better to learn from a clean slate versus already having some preconceived notions and a lot of wrong learnings in your head, and then so you have to first wipe away that, right? So that is why he was, that particular teacher was saying that, I'll charge you more. So similarly here in India, yeah, Prabhupada is saying, people have all these kind of wrong notions because nobody reads our scriptures. That is the sad part, sad state of affairs. When you consider other religions, at least we see, small kids reading Quran, and even in Western culture, they teach Bible right from childhood. We see here, right? We like our kids went to um, preschools here in America, and they talk about Bible every day in the school. But unfortunately, in our culture, Vedic culture, things have deteriorated so much that nobody's interested in reading our literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, right? It's not being taught even in schools these days. So then yeah, people just have whatever they have hearsay. It's all hearsay, whatever they've heard, right, from others. So then it just becomes like a big khichdi. Nobody knows what is the real truth unless you actually hear from a true sadhu, and which are also who are also on the wane in India, right? Because everybody, like Prabhupada is saying, you have so many impersonalist philosophies, and just by externals, people putting saffron robes and cheating people, or putting some tilak and cheating people, right? So that is, and when people don't know, then that is what is going to happen. So yeah, but on the positive side here, Prabhupada is also thinking that yes, Indians have this mentality to imitate the West. So hopefully, when they see these true Westerners uh, becoming Vaishnavas, then they will probably get inspired from these Western Vaishnavas, and hopefully the culture can actually revive again. So that was Prabhupada's mood, and it is easy again, like for Prabhupada, like, because these people, even the Westerners, even though they were ignorant. Same thing again. They were starting with a clean slate, so it was easy for them to understand who Krishna was versus preaching to Indians who already had their slates, muddied with all the wrong philosophies. So it is better to be impersonalist, in the sense, like, so there are two kinds of impersonalists, like we say, the Brahmavadis, who are interested in the impersonal philosophy, versus the Mayavadis. Mayavadis and impersonalists actually are the same thing, but the ones who have at least no knowledge of the impersonalist philosophies, at least they are easy recipients to receive this true knowledge, versus somebody who already have the knowledge, who have the impersonalist philosophy, where that saying that that God doesn't exist, or atheists who say that God doesn't exist. So yeah, that was Prabhupada's idea here. Okay, any other thoughts, comments on today's reading? Anything else that you liked from today's reading? All right. Yes, Mataji.
No, please go ahead. I was just talking about that Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Gyan Yoga that one of the people who came to visit him wanted to argue with over and say that. So I heard a lecture not too long ago, and something that stuck with me was the simplicity how the Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga was explained. It had said, I don't have the lecture with me, but I do remember the lines that Karma Yoga teaches us how to live, and Gyan Yoga teaches us how to let go, and the Bhakti Yoga teaches us how to love. Bhakti means the love for Krishna. So just one point that kind of stood out for me. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, Mataji. Yes, very nice. I remember, I don't know if it was Keshav Swami Maharaj or Gaur Gopal Prabhu, somebody mentions that also. Yes.
Probably Keshwa Swami Maharaj. I listened to a lot of his lectures, so yeah, probably him.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Okay, all right. So we'll stop here for today and we'll continue again tomorrow. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण एवरीबॉडी।
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.